Agra Fort is a UNESCO World Heritage Site located in Agra, India. The fort is also known as Lal Qila, Fort Rouge and Red Fort of Agra. Agra Fort is located on the right bank of the river Yamuna in the city of Agra, in Uttar Pradesh. It is one of the most important and robustly built stronghold of the Mughals, embellished with number of richly decorated buildings encompassing the imposing Mughal style of art and architecture. It was constructed by the third Mughal emperor, Akbar, on the remains of an ancient site known as Badalgarh. Sikandar Lodi 1487 to 1517 was the first Sultan of Delhi to shift his capital from Delhi to Agra. After Sikandar Lodi, who died in 1517, his son Ibrahim Lodi held the fort for 9 years. Until he was defeated and killed in the Battle of Panipat in 1526. Several palaces, wells and a mosque were built in the fort during the Lodi period. When Babur sent his son Humayun to Agra, he captured the fort and seized a vast treasure, which included the world-famous Koh-i-Noor diamond as well. Babur built a barley step wall here. Humayun was coronated here in 1530. Nazm, a water carrier Sultan, who had saved Humayun from drowning, was crowned here as an emperor for half a day. After Humayun's defeat at Badalgarh in 1540, Sher Shah of the Sur dynasty occupied Agra Fort and garrisoned it. Akbar arrived in Agra in 1558. He ordered to renovate the fort with red sandstone. Some 4,000 builders daily worked on it, and it was completed in 8 years, 1565 to 1573. The fort, semicircular on plan, is surrounded by a 21.4 meters high fortification wall. Double ramparts have been provided here with broad massive circular bastions at regular intervals. There are 4 gates on its 4 sides. One of the gates was called Kisri Gate, the water gate, which opens to the river front, where ghats keys were provided. The fort has survived through the onslaught of time, nature and men. The fort spreads over an area of about 94 acres of land. At present, there exist more than 2 dozens of monuments in the fort. Abul Fazl, a court historian of Akbar, records that 5,000 buildings were built here beautifully in Bengali and Gujarati style. Most of these buildings have now disappeared. Shah Jahan himself demolished some of these in order to make room for his white marble palaces. Later, the British destroyed most of the buildings for raising barracks. hardly 30 Mughal buildings have survived on the southeastern side. Of these, the Delhi Gate, Akbari Gate and Bengali Mahal are representative of buildings raised during the reign of Akbar. Jahangir mostly resided at Lahore and in Kashmir, though he visited Agra regularly and lived in the fort. Shah Jahan, a great builder, raised white marble palaces here. He also built 3 white marble mosques in Atmoti Masjid, Nagina Masjid and Meena Masjid. Aurangzeb imprisoned Shah Jahan, his own father, in the fort for 8 years until he died in 1666 and was buried in the Taj Mahal. The barbicans around the 2 gates and on the riverside were built by Aurangzeb to strengthen its defences. Though Shah Jahan had formally transferred his capital to Delhi in 1638, he continued to live here. But after his death, Agra lost its grandeur. Aurangzeb remained busy in the regional conflicts and wars. Yet, time and again, he lived here and held the Darbar. Shivaji came to Agra in 1666 and met Aurangzeb in the Diwan-i Khas. Aurangzeb died in 1707 and 18th century history of Agra Fort is a saga of sieges and plunder during which it was held by the Jats and the Marathas and finally the British captured it from the latter in 1803. The fort contains splendid palaces both in red sandstone and white marble built by 2 generations of prolific builders Akbar and later Jahangir and Shah Jahan. Of the nearly 500 Akbari buildings built in the Bengal and Gujarati traditions, only a few have survived, arrayed in a band on the riverfront. Some of the exquisite structures Sheesh Mahal, literally meaning glass palace. It was the royal dressing room adorned by tiny mirror-like glass mosaic decorations on the walls. The Diwan-i-Am, which was used as a communications ground between the public and the aristocracy and once housed the peacock throne. Diwan-i-Khas, a hall of private audience. It was used to welcome kings and dignitaries. The Angure Bagh, it houses 85 square, geometrically arranged lush gardens. Castle, an immaculate white marble palace.